Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shante Roddy, coming to you with another stimulus update and news report. This is March 17th. Okay, come on in. Let me know who you are, where you're hailing from, what your business is. We have some important business to get to today. I was on earlier today with the scheduled lives to talk about each individual grant program that is being rolled out. So I'll be talking about those programs as well, just in case you did not catch those lives. Those are particular to each individual industry. So you definitely want to know about that. Do give this a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Thank you to all of those that has helped us get over 20,000 subscribers. We definitely appreciate your continuous support. We definitely appreciate you all continuing to share our videos and our content to all of the many entrepreneurs and small business owners that are still out there that don't know about these programs, that do need to know about these programs. And especially because I am a SCORE mentor, subject matter expert, and I'm going to be on some of their teams to roll out some of these programs. It's really important that you all help to share the information so that our fellow small business community members know about these programs and that they can apply. So we're going to be doing a lot of outreach in the upcoming days and the upcoming weeks and the upcoming months, because there's plenty of programs that are out there. So I'm going to start with the stimulus the stimulus checks that you all should have received today. They were scheduled to be deposited, especially if you are with a larger bank. They're scheduled to be deposited today by 9 a.m. So I had put out a poll earlier today to see who all got their checks. If you received your check, please do let me know in the comments. Those that have received direct deposit, they sent out, according to the IRS and the Treasury Department, 90 million stimulus check or economic impact payment deposits to bank accounts. Now, one thing that you need to know if you're expecting your deposit is that you must have the ACH transfer, wire transfer capabilities on your account to get it. The IRS also has started sending out checks. If you did not get yours today, that doesn't mean you're not going to get your check. They expect to continue rolling out the payments over the next few weeks or so. You can always go to the Get My Payment tool on the IRS website. I have dropped that link, the direct link to that tool in the comments, so you can see where what your status is, and your status can and may change just depending on your individual situation. We know last time there were some issues with some of you all that filed your taxes through like TurboTax or H&R Block. I'm not sure. I'm hopeful that they have resolved those issues, but those people tend to get theirs a little bit later. And then those that don't have a bank account, you again will get a check or a debit card in the mail. So be on the lookout in your mail. Don't just throw out your mail like some people were doing the last time. Then that's going to further delay you getting access to your check. But I'm so happy to see so many of you all have already received your deposit. Again, if you received your deposit, let me know in the comments. So I said 90 million people. What does that mean? $240 billion went out. And I know there was some, like noise on Twitter, a lot of complaints about some of the banks that people were complaining that they didn't get their check on Friday. This is what happens. The IRS and the Treasury Department scheduled them to be deposited today. Some banks, not all, but some banks, what they do is they give you an advance on the money with the anticipation that they're going to get it from the Treasury Department or from the Reserve. It's a particular process where the IRS scheduled it for this day. They did not schedule it for last Friday. They scheduled the deposits for today, and it's up to the banks and their process to determine if they're going to advance it. If they advance your money, like sometimes they do with the tax, when you file your tax returns, that means that they're taking on a risk, but the presumption is you're going to get your you're going to get your stimulus payment. And so therefore some of the banks, maybe like Chime, if you're with Chime, they advance, meaning you probably got yours on Friday or Saturday. But if you didn't and you got it today, that's still great. But I would really like to know too, how do you plan to use the money? Are you, spending it on food, bills, getting caught up, buying something new, investing, saving? What are you doing? I really like to know. So those are the stimulus checks. Again, you should look forward to those. Want to make sure also that you know about the President Biden and his team that are on an outreach tour around the country. They're calling it a Help is Here tour, and this is to promote and to bring awareness to this $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan stimulus package that has a ton of relief in it. A ton of relief. The stimulus checks is only one part of the relief. And so even with that, many of you all, family of four is getting $5,600. Okay. So how much can they help you and your families? Okay. But there's more coming. And so they really want to get out there and make you aware of everything that you're potentially going to qualify for. Now, just to backtrack really quickly on the stimulus checks, just a reminder, if you're like, oh, I didn't see any money in my bank account, right? I didn't get a stimulus check. Remember that there are income parameters or criteria in order to qualify. So we know millions less qualify this time around because an individual, you had to have $75,000 income or less, had a household 112 and 500 or less, and then 160 if you are a married couple. So if you don't fall into those parameters, then again, an individual, if you're making 80,000 or more, you would not qualify for the check this go round. So again, they're on their Help is Here tour. So we're excited about that. Like I said a little bit earlier, I'm a SCORE mentor, and I'm getting on some teams because I really want to make sure that I'm in a position to help more small business recover, be able to get out this information to them. The SBA, we're meeting with the head of SBA and the team that is going to be rolling out the Shutter Venue Operators Grant programs. So there's initiatives, right, and outreach around each specific stimulus program, like for small business. So I'll be talking about that as well. Now, the House voted yesterday to extend the Paycheck Protection Program from its current deadline date to apply, which is March 31st. So if you have not applied for either first draw or second draw, do get your applications in. I would encourage you to apply today. But Senator Jackie Ronson, she is a Democrat out of Nevada. She and this has had bipartisan support, but she was also pushing for this extension. So it passed the House. It is moving on to the Senate, and they are confident that it will get approved because it's had bipartisan support. It's been a really big push just because of all the different changes and the new funding that has come for the PPP program. Now, what they're saying is this started out when they expanded it in December of 2020 to $284 billion. And then under the American Rescue Plan, they added $7 billion. But there's a little over $60 billion left. So that's a lot, but it's really not when you think about there's millions of people that need to be applying. But they want to provide more time for us to apply. I definitely want more time to be able to apply for the second draw. And with that extension to May 31st, the SBA would have an additional 30 days to be able to process all of those applications. Okay. So I did a video on the EIDL grant. I provided an update regarding this. So I'm going to go kind of through a lot of these small business grants, tax credits, different reliefs that you all need to be made aware of so that you can apply to those that are appropriate for you. But we know right now the EIDL grant has bumped up to $15,000 that you can potentially get for your business. The EIDL, I will be doing another video tomorrow just to talk about the application. So I have an email template that comes exactly what you can expect to see from the SBA to come to your email inbox, what they're going to request from you. I'm going to go over that tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But those emails have been going out since February 1st. They're going out in phases. First to those that have received they received the grant, but it was less than 10,000. And then the next phase or wave will go to those like me that did not receive any grant money. And you had to, this is by invite only from the SBA at sba.gov. So if you go to that video that I did, I also put in there the email addresses that you would see that could potentially be in your inbox or your spam folder. You can't assume that it's just going to go to your inbox because many people have found the emails in their spam folders. So you just need to be monitoring both. The EIDL loan program has been the deferment period. So those that have the EIDL loan, we know that once you took out the EIDL loan, after a certain period of time, you have to start paying it back, right? There's a maturity period of 30 years. Well, under the American Rescue under this plan, the SBA has extended the deferment period. Now, you should expect to receive email notification that the deferment period has been extended to 2022. So if you receive that email, please do let me know. One of my peers, was sharing her excitement that she received her notification from the SBA today. That her loan is going to be deferred, again, giving you more relief, more time to recover during this time and not adding on another burden of you having to pay back your loan at this time. So it's been deferred to 2020. If you have any questions related to your EIDL loan or EIDL grant, reach out to the SBA, right? Let that be your first contact, right? I know a lot of people contact me, but if you have a question regarding your application or some technical issue, it is really important that you reach out to the SBA first, either by email or pick up the phone. They even answer on the weekend. Like I got a hold, every time I call is usually on the weekend when it's lower volume. So that's the EIDL loan program, and the loan program has been extended to December 31st of 2020. So you can apply for that, right? And then the grant, again, has been extended an additional $15 billion, where now you have the opportunity to get a supplemental grant of $5,000. And that is a phased approach as well. They're just depending on if you fit into the severity level or the substantially impacted, right? So severely impacted, substantially impacted, that's how it will be phased. Now, Jackie Rosin has been a real advocate. Again, she's one of the senators that have been pushing for full payment of the $10,000 and full payment of the loans. So we know that the SBA has capped the loans at $150,000. Well, they were supposed to be at $2 million. It was supposed to be the cap. So she's still pushing for that. And with the installment of Ms. Guzman, who is the new head of the SBA, they're really looking forward to some additional changes. So I will keep you posted as we learn more. But yes, with the grant, they're focusing on low to moderate income, disadvantaged businesses. That's because so many of us have been left out. However, this grant was always intended for everyone that submitted a successful application to get the full $10,000 grant. And you getting it does not depend on you being denied or approved, or whether you accept the loan or not. So I just want to clarify that, because people ask me that all the time. Well, I was denied the loan. That has nothing to do with the grant. You should expect an email from the SBA letting you know that you could potentially qualify for the grant. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Special lives that I did this week that you definitely want to tune into or share with your peers is the targeted EIDL grant. Specifics on updates related to that program. The Shutter Venue Operators grant, I did that earlier today. It's a lot to it. It's up to $10 million per business that you can get. So you definitely want to get started on getting all your paperwork together. It's a lengthy checklist. All that information is in the video, in the comments. I left it there so that you can get to work on those applications. Those are for live venue operators, cultural businesses, like if you have a museum, you operate an aquarium, if you represent artists or comedians, anything like that, that program would apply to you. You can apply for that grant and PPP now. You just cannot use the funds for the same thing at the same time. So there's different rules around it. You definitely want to make sure you read up on the rules for every one of these programs. And so again, I said I would be doing another targeted EIDL grant live tomorrow, specifically on the email application that you're going to receive. Other programs that you need to be aware of that will be coming forward as well is the child care grant, the child care provider block grants that are coming out. Those are $39 billion. So they haven't released any new information on that. I'm not sure who will actually be administering the child care grants. It may not necessarily be the SBA because it's just categorized differently. But if you're a child care provider, this would apply to you. So I've been monitoring that closely, but that's something that you should expect. I also did a video on the restaurant revitalization grant. So if you are in the restaurant food service business, if you're a caterer, if you have an establishment where people come to eat food or drink, then you would qualify for this program. This program is up to $10 million as well. So you definitely, again, want to go back to that video because the Shutter Venue Operators Grant and the restaurant, the restaurant revitalization grants both require you to have a DUNS number and requires you to be registered in SAM, and you may have to be registered in grants.gov for these grants. And I explained that earlier in the live video from this afternoon. Employee retention tax credits. Again, this is another opportunity for you to get tax credits for your business per employee per quarter. This tax form is filed with your quarterly taxes. So again, consult with your accountant and your tax professionals on this. But this is a great opportunity for you to get money for your employees. So this is for people that have businesses that have employees, W-2 employees. You can also get the employee tax credit and PPP. Again, you just cannot use it for the same period. So like I said before, if January, February, and March, you use PPP funds for your employee costs, your payroll costs, then April, May, and June, you're not using your PPP, then you can use the employee retention tax credit. There's also the self-employment tax credit that you can qualify for. These forms can be found on the IRS website. Any tax form can always be found on the IRS website. Any SBA form can always be found on the SBA website. So again, but anytime there's a tax credit is taken on your taxes. SBA debt relief is also made available. So I said that SBA has many different types of loans that they still offer, like right now, that's non-COVID related, that you may have a Section 7A or a micro loan from the SBA. So they have debt relief programs and forgiveness programs for those loans. So you should have, if you have an SBA loan, let me know, you should have received some type of notification from your lender as to the deferment and forgiveness of those loans. You definitely want to reach out to them and or call the SBA to make sure that you're getting all the benefits that you are entitled to. Now, I said that there's more money on the way. So those are the top programs for small businesses. And I failed to mention the Small Business Opportunity Fund, which is another one. This grant I spoke about the other day will actually, monies will go to the states, and then the states will roll them out to small businesses. So some of the small businesses, maybe you had a business that went under and you want to restart the business. That grant will be for you guys, right? For us and for you. So it's opening up for more businesses to be able to apply that don't necessarily fit into these other COVID-related grants. So again, that's the Small Business Opportunity Fund. And as that rolls out, again, that will go to the states, and then they will roll out that money. And then also the states, the state and local governments also are getting $350 billion. There's a formula where they each got a certain amount for each state, but that includes more relief as well for small business and more relief in other ways. There's also money that is specifically billions that is specifically designated for rent relief. And there's money that is for a mortgage relief. There's actually a bill that is some proposals for a tax credit, new home buyer tax credit. This is not part of the American Rescue Plan, but this is something that's been proposals that are being put forth in Congress that may come forward, just similar to what they were in 2008 and 2009 when they did it. This one is what they're proposing is a $15,000 tax credit. So I will be monitoring that as well. So a lot of things. This is not it. So even after the American Rescue Plan, there is going to be an American Recovery Plan. But right now, we're working through all of these programs to get you on money. On top of that are the child credits, right? So for all of you all that have children, you got your stimulus. Now you have the opportunity to get $3,600 per child under 6 and $3,000 per child up to age 18. So they changed that, and now it's refundable. And they're figuring out how to roll it out. It may be where they are going to where you get a check every month instead of a one-time annual payment on that. For these different programs, we don't recommend that you amend your taxes if you've already filed your taxes. For all of these programs, they will be releasing guidance. So I wouldn't, move super fast to take any action like that before they release information on the approach that they're going to take. So if you've already filed your taxes, that's good. But if you haven't, I wouldn't rush to do it, right? Because all of the different companies that you work with and your accountants and your tax preparers, they all have to get caught up on all the new regulations based on the new American Rescue Plan, and also the Consolidated Appropriations Plan that passed in December of 2020. So as these things change, they have to constantly update their systems to accommodate. I was never going to be in a rush to file my taxes. So if you're like an entrepreneur, small business owner, and you want these benefits, I would just, they're going to be extending the tax filing deadline anyway. So take your time, be thorough, make sure you have all your documentation and records together so you can make sure that you get access to these benefits. And again, as they roll out these different programs, I will continue to keep you up to date. If you have not subscribed already, do subscribe. Again, do share out this video. Give it a thumbs up. We want more people to see this video. Tell your peers about it. You have friends, you have communities, you have networks. But I just see too many people saying that they're in communities and nobody knows about these programs that's going on, and no one's sharing with other people. The bottom line is millions of business owners don't have a clue. And those that do, is just challenging to understand all of these different programs and which one is a good fit for you. I just had a woman email me today. She has a bakery and was asking me, not only for herself, but she says she has tons of other peers that are bakers, but she bakes out of her house. Will she qualify for the restaurant revitalization grant? So I constantly every day get questions like these. And so there's many millions more small business owners that have similar questions about all of these different programs. So we want you to be able to get the grant or the forgivable loan or whatever funding program that is a good fit for you, that you need to be able to reopen your business, stay in business, pivot your business, scale your business, whatever that is. We want you to be able to get access to it. But you need to make sure you have your business in order. You are the CEO of your business. We have resources. So if this is your first time viewing, We have resources. I always put them in the description and in the show notes. We have a resource page on our website, and we add all of the new programs on there as they are rolled out, so you have the latest information. We have master classes and cheat sheets that are available as well. There are resource centers like the SBA itself. Its website is a great resource for information. The small business development centers are a great resource for information. And SCORE is a great resource of information. They put out tons of, like, experts like myself give presentations, webinars on a number of different business aspects. We give webinars on the different programs like PPP and EIDL to really help you guys. So there are free programs out there. But again, if you want to work with me one-on-one, it is at a fee because I try to do more group work. It just is better. It's more interactive, and it makes best use of my time and you guys' time. But there are free resources out there. Do get connected, get on their email list so you're notified when they have new webinars and things coming out. I'm very in tune with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce because they come on with the leaders, like at the White House, and like the SBA directors and senators and things, to answer your questions. And so I make sure that I'm part of those conversations so then I can come back and give you all real information, because there's a lot of people giving misinformation out there, false information. There's scammers out there, but just do your due diligence. Just know that information will be coming out. Don't ignore emails. Even if you think it's a scam, you can always follow up with the SBA. Say, SBA, did you send me some type of a notification? If it doesn't say .gov on the end, it's not the SBA. If you know that much, you will know when you get an email from the SBA and it's the SBA. Okay, so I'm just going to go through here really quickly just to see if there are any questions. Someone said that their stimulus check went to the wrong account. That has happened to people. Sometimes they went to the wrong account, but it's an open, active account. But there's so many people that I talk to, they change in their accounts all the time. That's why I tell business owners, don't go changing your business account. Why, if you're applying for grants, and why would you close out your account? You close out your account, they award you the grant, and they can't submit it to your bank, then you're not going to get the grant. And most likely they're not going to say, okay, come back and update your information, because they told you to update it to provide valid information in the first place. But with these stimulus checks, if your account is closed, again, they send it back to the IRS, and then what they do is issue a check. So it's not that you're not going to get your money. You will get a check. And then also you have an opportunity, if you still don't get the check, you have an opportunity to get the credit on your taxes. Okay, it's really an advance for the tax credit. Okay, so you will definitely get it. Can you give me some ideas on what I should do with my money? I almost got $5,000. Wow. They want you to stimulate the economy, but I mean, I really can't answer that question for you. I'm big on, what do you need right now? What does your family need? Spend it on that. Save some, invest some is what my recommendation would be. I wouldn't spend all of it. But they definitely want you to spend money to, boost up the economy. So don't feel like you have to sit on all of it. But definitely put it towards what your family has been missing during this time, and then put some away and then invest some. Okay, let me see. They need to, they are going to extend the tax filing date. I think there was a call to actually extend it until June, but they've extended it to May, and they may extend it again. We don't know, because, the IRS is really inundated because they don't have a big budget. They don't have, they're not operating with the super large team, and they're trying to manage all of the refunds from last year. This the stimulus checks that have been coming out. Now it's tax season again. So they're trying to manage all of those different things. So, some people still haven't gotten their refunds from the last tax period. So, we just have to be patient. We know we've been waiting this long. 'Cause, 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 we know we've been waiting this long. Someone else is asking, why is the SBA taking so long to finalize PPP loans? Mine was forwarded on the 2nd to the SBA, still no loan documents. There is no standard for how long it's going to take with any of these programs. You don't have any control over how long it takes for them to process it. What you do have control over is making sure you have your information ready that is accurate when you submit it. So it doesn't cause any further delays. We already know the SBA has been behind on these programs. So, and then also, if you apply for PPP and it's taking a while, I'm assuming you've been approved if it's now gone to the SBA because you applied through a lender. But I always recommend you apply to multiple lenders to get approved. Then, like you say, you get the loan papers and then you eventually get your deposit. But they're trying to run all of these, they're running all of these different programs, millions of people. That's why it's taking so long, right? I've been waiting since March of last year for my EIDL grant. So I know it's taking a long time. We just have to be patient because there's nothing we can really do but follow up. I mean, I would call and follow up and email. Just give it some time. I wouldn't hound them every day, but if a week or two go past and you don't hear anything, follow up. Thank you, Jinker Bell. Thank you so much for that comment, that compliment. I see some other people didn't get their checks today, but again, don't worry, check your status. I remember one of my relatives, his status changed like 3 times, and he wasn't even sure he would get a stimulus payment, but he did. But it came well after the fact, but he got it. Like, I think he got his $600 one like a few weeks ago. So for some people, just depending on your circumstance, and another lady said today that her amount was like really small. And based on what she said, I was like, someone may have offset her money. So if it's not $1,400, it's $1,400 per person. Okay. And if you get something like $20 or it's super short from that amount, that means that somebody offset your amount. Also, if your bank account that is going to, if you have an overdraft on your account and fees, it's possible that when they deposit that account, they will take those fees. So expect that as well. So there's not many reasons why you should be getting offsets. But it's possible, like even in the private industry, they may take money. That means they're taking the money before you get it. So if you're short, that's probably the reason why. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you all so much. Someone is asking me, what do you recommend for newly opened businesses as far as getting funds to help your biz? Elaine, I recommend that you go to the show notes, the description, and get our access to our tools and resources. There are grants for every type of business, including those that started up. A lot of these COVID-related grants, you had to have been in business. But there are new grants. Like one of our followers she won one in Texas. It's a Start Her. It was for startup women. I think they're actually having another round later this year. But that was a startup grant. It was for $5,000, brand new business. Like, so you could be in the concept phase, but you have to have a business plan, right? So you have to have a solid business plan. You have to know what you want to do. But there are grant opportunities that are out here. I would say this, the best place to look for grants right now, there's a lot of national grants, they're on our tracker, but in your local area, okay, your state, your county, your city, and organizations and foundations in your state, county, and city, the governments in your state, county, and city is where the money is. That's where the federal dollars are going. That's where partnerships are happening to give you all relief. So I would highly recommend you seek out those organizations. We have a list on our tracker that says exactly where to look in your area. And those that have gotten big grants, like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 or more in their local area. And you're more likely, actually more likely to get a grant in your local area than a national grant. So don't overlook your local geographic area. So I've gotten at least 3 grants, and I'm expecting to get more, like locally. I've applied for. I partner with another business on a grant here, and we're about to partner on another one for the Google Impact Grant. Now that's a grant up to $2 million. $2 million. So start collaborating, start partnering up with other people to get some of this money as well. There are grants outside of COVID. The government has many grant opportunities outside of COVID where they give hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars for ideas, innovation, to solve problems, especially now. They have a lot of challenges going on right now for various industries. I have some of those on our tracker. You could go to grants.gov to learn more about different types of grants from the government, and then purchase our MBE certification masterclass. It tells you how to leverage certification to get access billions in grants and government contracts. So we're helping you make money in 2021 and beyond. So use the resources that are there. We've done the heavy lifting to make it easier for you to get access to what you need to be able to scale your business. So thank you so much. Continue to be the boss with amplified impact. Continue to stay safe and in good health. Have a wonderful day. Bye.